So I was thinking when you're saying that is why, which is why, maybe it's like why is there something instead of nothing? Why does there need to be everything that, or like...
it's that infinity exists.
Yeah, like everything just exists.
Yeah, like, you can think of it this way, actually, this is going to be a really crude, hilarious, nonsensical analogy. So the question is kind of like, why does all things
like you're
have
saying
to
there
exist?
has to be this mother and this person and
Yeah,
this,
like you can go take that from the deep angle, like the universe doesn't make mistakes, hence it's going to have to experience all of the things. But there's also the other side of it, stupid analogy here, but sometimes working at this bakery, some customer comes in and they ask a question like, "Hey, these peach muffins, are they good, or how are they?" And it's like the answers to that, it's really, really hard to give a proper answer without sounding condescending, because I almost always just want to say, like, my initial response is like, what I end up saying is something like, well, they seem to sell out a lot, so people must like them. Sometimes I randomly said something like, I've never tried one, and then I'm like, they probably don't want to hear that, because we make so many products I can't eat everything, like, backed up like that. But my initial response almost always is like, if they weren't good, then we would make different ones, and then we would make a good one, then we'd put that on the shelf instead. Like, it would sound like condescending and rude to them if I just said...
Well, it would sound like, like, yeah, we're the best bakery ever.
Yeah, who knows how they would respond. They wouldn't respond well, I think, of me just being like, why would we put something that isn't good on the shelf? Like, or just, well, if they weren't good, we would make something that was good.
Well, then they'd be like, well, why haven't you had one? Or if if they knew that fact too.
If I told them that,
yeah,
then
I know.
My initial response would be the other thing before I say I haven't had one. So just be like, well, of course, that's why we're selling it. Like,
well, and by what you're telling them, and if you told them all the things you could tell them, it raises the question of what's good about them.
Yeah, like
if they are good, then why are they good?
Yeah, one of the best ways of doing it, but they have to phrase it a certain way. Sometimes it just doesn't work with their question. But the best way of doing it would just be like, it depends on your preference. Like, you might like it. Do you like peaches? Because it might work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's the best way, but sometimes they don't phrase it, or they don't ask in a way that allows you to just say that, so you have to, like, ignore their question to do it, which that might be a better way of doing it than actually answering their question. But, like, it's that kind of thing where, like, how, of all of the raspberry peach muffins that we could put on the shelf, why this one?
So how does...
And so the analogy is crude, but it's like, if the universe only made one peach muffin, and it never made any other peach muffins, it wouldn't know how good the good peach muffin is and how bad a bad peach muffin was. It would need all of the peach muffins. And if the universe has not experienced all of the peach muffins, it would make a parallel reality where another peach muffin of another kind existed so it could experience that peach muffin. Like, if I was a divine being, a god in the universe, and experienced all things, if I experience all things, that means I experience all things. If I am all things, I am God and I'm creator of infinity. Infinity includes every possible variation of peach muffin. If there's a peach muffin that doesn't exist, but it could exist in a reality that I made, a planet, a timeline in existence, making it a parallel reality that has that peach muffin would be nothing. It would be not even scraps that fall off the table when, like a grain of rice falling off the table and make a giant pot of rice type of thing. It'd be like, it's nothing to the universe. So, of course, it's going to be there. That type of thing. This is taking it from that almost like analyzing the logic behind it thing. Like, you could analyze it and take so many routes to get there. But ultimately, if there's going to be a variation, a extremity of something, and to the universe, to us, a raspberry peach muffin is like probably a bigger deal. A raspberry peach muffin is probably a bigger deal to us than having every possible relationship of parent and child is to the universe. Does that make sense? like a raspberry muffin to humanity is nothing. To a person, it's barely anything, but it's still a bigger deal to us than.
What do you mean us? Who's us?
Like a person.
Like a person.
Like like a human. A raspberry peach muffin that's nothing. It's like you eat it, it's gone, and it happens one day of your life, and you might have like hundreds of muffins or something. Like it's really not a big deal. It's such a small thing, but the ability for the universe to have every possible relationship of parent and child active at almost any time, whether it's in our human lifespans or in monkeys or rhinos or anything else, like every possible relationship of a parent and child dynamic going on, that to the universe is even a smaller deal. The universe has so much going on that to have every possible infinite variation of all relationships, that's a nothingness compared to the universe. It's like making up different variations of raspberry peach muffins to us. Like it's such a small factor. So of course it's going to have every possible variation.
Well, I guess.
And if it didn't, then it would be like, well, now I'm going to instead.